So to set up my file, I need to consider what the width of the actual fabric that we'll be printing on is. So if we're using the poplin, I've checked it's 140 centimeters wide, and because we've got 19 students, this is about the dimension. So just to double check that, you'd go to canvas size, so it's 140 the width, and the height I've gone for 3 meters 50 centimeters. To make sure I fit on my 19 students. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 21, I've got 19 students, so there's a couple spare, which is good. You can sort of do some practice ones, or maybe the students that are ahead might be able to do 2 prints. Okay, so then to add, ideally we want to add the print to each block. So this is just a template that I've set up that will guide me to where I can put the print, but we won't actually be seeing it. We'll actually turn it off. So the first thing you need to do is go into the student file. So say this is their file, and check that they've actually repeated it properly. So as per the instruction sheet, it's filter, other, and offset. So here, the most important thing to do is make sure it's wrap around and to press shift. So clicking the shift button, and I'll move these guys and see if there's any, and obviously preview, and just check that there's no obvious lines. Might be good to do it with the student and for them to mark out where they repeated it and just zoom in and double check that it's all good. So then, okay. And then what you do is select all of it. So Command A, or might be Control A on their computers. Edit and define pattern. And then you might want to name theirs. So floral underscore Sarah. And PSD is fine. And then OK. And deselect, and you can then close that if you need to. And then what to do is zoom into a block and use the wand tool, or it's W for shortcut, and be on the template layer and select that one block. And then best thing to do is not to have them all on the same layer, so actually just duplicate that block. So Command J or Control J. Select that layer again and double click. So make sure you zoomed in so you can see the print, and then you'll go pattern overlay. So you click on the side, get your pattern normal, opacity normal is good, and then in here I'll be able to find the print. So that's Sarah, I can see that's Sarah PSD. Yep. And make sure with their file as well that it's 300 DPI. It'll probably tell you if you try and insert it and it's not. And then you can play with the scale so you can see, and it might be a good idea to actually do it in class so the students can choose when you're doing it what scale they want, how big and how small. So say I want to go about that, and okay, and then you can deselect, so Command D, zoom out, and then maybe just label that layer Sarah print. Cool, so that would be your layer, and then what you do is you'd add them as you go. So for example, I've added some, and then so you'd build them up and you'd label them with their names, check they're all there, and then when you're ready to print, you take your eye off the bottom one, so you just get the prints, you create a new layer at the top, and then the way that we screenshotted the print to create the repeat, you do the same process. So Shift Alt Command E. So you can turn your eyes off all your other layers, and your final, all the prints would be on one layer. Then you'd go Layer, Flatten Image. Okay. Once you've added them all in, and make sure you don't press Save, and go File, Save As, and you would save it as a TIFF. So, save. So none, I don't really know what that stuff means, but that should be fine. Okay, and that will be ready to print. So the TIFF is just a format, a file that the printers recognise, and it's to do with colour fixing as well, I think. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So once it saves, you're done. And that's it.